Dharmasthala is a Hindu temple with 800 years of documented history located in Karnataka. The temple attracts millions of devotees every year and hosts wide variety of cultural, religious and charitable activities that contribute heavily to social well-being. The charitable activities of the temple are based on the Chaturdhana tradition of Jainism. The temple is headed by Jain family under the leadership of Padma Vibhushan awardee Dr. D. Virendra Heggade, who holds the position of Dharmadhikari of the temple. Recently, the temple has been the center of controversy as an allegation of mass burials around it. The temple administration was the central target of all the allegations. This podcast addresses the larger aspect of social and religious scandal that was crafted to defeat and possibly dismantle the strong center of faith that has been the source of assurance for millions of people for centuries. Over to the bigger picture.
Apparently, good news isn't as potent as bad. Perhaps that's why the hundreds of social welfare activities that happen through the Dharmasala temple and the way it benefits millions of people around the state of Karnataka was largely unheard of until one unfortunate day a masked man came into the picture and claimed that he has buried hundreds of bodies around the Dharmasala temple. And now suddenly Dharmasala is international news. In this series, we try to uncover the layers of the incident associated with the Dharmasala temple that now spans over 13 years. In the first episode of The Bigger Picture, we try to understand the Heggade, the institution, the man who stands at the helm of the social welfare activities that happen through the Dharmasala temple, and now at the receiving end of the smear campaign as well. There are multiple layers to the position of Dr. D. Virendra Heggade, his personality, and the intent behind the smear campaign that now targets him. We have Virat Padmanabha sir here with us today, an assistant professor, writer and journalist who has dedicated a book to Dr. D. Virendra Heggade and written a Kannada interpretation of the famed poem Vaishnava Janato in a way that it embodies the nature and ethos of the Heggade. Sir, thank you for joining with us today.
Thank you. Namaste.
I'd like to start with the notion that the Heggade is a religious position. And by definition, a religious position is often in conflict with a lot of socialist values, or at least as we know it today. So, I'd like to start with how Dr. D. Virendra Heggade, despite being a religious position because he was anointed by the guardian spirits to his position today, is a personality that transcends all the socialist or let's say social theories that we know of today.
I agree. Whatever you submitted, your version of greater interpretation on Virendra Heggade ji, his personal identity is very specific and it is very significant in terms of noble contributions to the society. I think it is very important to know that the essence of dharma is closely associated with his personal attire.
True.
One person can become a contributory module for the societal upliftment with the greater notions. When you are associated with the universal values, definitely you will get grand attire and you will get universal acceptance. I would like to consider the identity of Sri Virendra Heggade ji as the resourceful personality. I consider his identity closely connected with the universal values. Many more write-ups Heggade ji gifted in different circumstances. All write-ups concentrating much more on noble values. Whenever you are listening to him, whenever you are going through the write-ups scripted by Dr. Virendra Heggade ji, you will realize the essence of dharma. Dharma always is closely associated with the humanity. There are many more dharmas, there are many more religious entities across the world, but your individualistic identity should be conglomerated with the noble notions.
True.
Then only you will uplift the society. That is the very important point I would like to focus on. your individualism is closely connected with the societal reformation. Always, big wig visionary people always constructed these kinds of discourses. Whenever I listen to Virendra Heggade ji, whenever I go through the texts related to Virendra Heggade ji, I realize that the real verve of greater values and his knowledge is recognized with the greater values. Personal identity as well as social identity, that popularity is closely connected with the noble notions.
True.
It is rarest of the rare possibility across the world. One religious wing will be converted into a democratic source.
Setup, yes.
It is very important. We need to understand this particular thought with energetic way. It is need of the hour. Always there are many more negative counter strategic efforts.
Yeah.
But we can face such counter negativity with our positivity. I find this positive verb in the persona of D. Virendra Heggade ji. So that's why he is the institutionalized personality.
True. So you say that the underlying principle of being noble and of being of service to the society is what makes him a transcendental personality and does not confine him to any of the social theories or socialist or any other theories for that matter. So I'd like to ask you, how important is a personality like that to establish the identity of the temple? For as of now, the Heggade is an identity that is very closely and very fundamentally associated with the temple of Dharmasala. Now there are a lot of temples in India that don't have a personality associated with it. So I'd like to know, how is the identity of the Heggade shaping the identity of the temple, or does it have any impact at all, and if there is, then how?
Actually, when we look at Sri Kshetra Dharmasthala, we need to consider its grand attire. It is closely associated with the social reformation.
Yes.
So that's why I considered Sri Kshetra Dharmasthala as the prime source of democracy by the devotees and for the devotees.
Yeah.
And you are there to address immediate requirements of the common people, and then only you will get wider acceptance from the mass.
Yeah.
Mass is always like that, whatever you are saying, it will be there. Larger mass is always there to listen to you.
Yeah.
And if you are with the negativity, glorified identity, mass always there to take that particular interpretation with the keen enthusiasm. But my point is that Sri Kshetra Dharmasthala is known for good Samaritan acts. So that's why I tried to interpret my version as the valid point of democratization. Temples should be the prime sources of democracy. Temples should be democratized. In the process, Virendra Heggade ji achieved the larger success. So that's why I would like to consider Sri Virendra Heggade ji as the important personality of our times for the betterment of the society. His identity is paving the way for greater transformation.
True.
At individualistic level, organizational level, national level. So that's why political fraternities accorded greater priority to his significance. All parties, representatives of all political parties visit Sri Kshetra with the greater expectation, with the greater affirmation. Sri Manjunathana Melane.
Yeah.
That popular term
Yes.
is with the real verve of inner conscience. So that's why identity of Virendra Heggade ji is so powerful, not because he is very popular, it is because his simplicity with the grand attire. I would like to remember then former Chief Minister Ramakrishna Heggade considered his identity as the mega institution of grand attire with simplicity. This is the philosophical verb Dr. Virendra Heggade ji is associated with. So that's why democracy, whatever in modern context, democracy is very precious. By the people, for the people. You know, all governments are adopting this philosophy with the greater significance. So Virendra Heggade ji has tried with his concerted efforts to, you know, coin important value of democracy with the assistance of Sri Manjunatheshwara, with the grace of Sri Manjunatheshwara.
Yeah, so to me it is very interesting how you use the term democracy. As per common understanding or as per the generic understanding of the term democracy, I feel like a religious institution is in direct conflict. There have been media reports and there have been TV debates where the Dharmasala system has been called as a feudal system. Now you have said something that is in complete contradiction to that. You have said that Heggade ji has achieved something that is extremely democratic. Now it's a very religious institution, it's a very religious position. In contradiction to what the liberal ideology or let's say even the communist ideology wants to believe about religion, are you saying that Heggade ji and Dharmasala temple have actually achieved the principles of liberalism, of communalism through a religious institution?
Yes, Heggade ji identity is with the noble notions. Ideologies are always with the noble notions. No, when some individuals are trying to depict one particular ideology with their own whims and fancies, such interpretations, it is too difficult to accept such versions as greater representative texts of ideologies. Ideologies are always with the broader mindset. You know, some individuals are defaming real worth of ideologies with their whims and fancies and their expectations, their mean mentality. Mean mentality is totally different. In contemporary days, we need to understand that all ideologies are totally different from mean mentality centric behaviors. We need to understand this. You know, that aggressiveness, it is totally, you know, unacceptable. It is too difficult to accept. Aggressiveness, extremism, you know, your ideologies are having greater power of making larger changes in the society. Whether you are with the ideology of Dharma, whether you are with the ideologies of progressive aspects, both are interconnected. When you are speaking about Dharma, there are larger interpretations, scholarly notions are there. But, you know, one particular reformative ideology, if you are going to frame, that ideological stance is closely connected with Dharma. You know, we need to redefine the concept of Dharma. We need to redefine the concept of progressive ideologies with the circumstantial requirements. But we are facing
the opposite of what that is.
Opposite of this, you know, crisis situations. You know, always crisis situations are there in the society. All visionary people, they have to face this kind of crisis situations. But they are so strong in terms of their willpower, in terms of their visionary framework, in terms of their, you know, affirmation. Affirmation in favor of people. Affirmation in favor of the needy. So that's why Virendra Heggade ji is very precious for me. At this juncture, you know, I'm strongly denying the versions, negative versions, those who are representing themselves, they are claiming themselves as a progressive movement. But it is not like that, you know, you should come, sit together, you should understand what kind of contributory modules you know, Sri Virendra Heggade ji framed. Without understanding this, you are making irrelevant comments. Comments are free in this world. You are making irrelevant comments on Sri Virendra Heggade ji without understanding the module of development he has gifted. So that's why Ramakrishna Heggade ji interpretation, it is very important for me. You know, mega institution of grand attire with simplicity, it is very important. Because, you know, when Janata Parivar was in administration, it has made larger changes in Karnataka. Decentralization concept implemented by Janata Parivar, not today's Janata Parivar. I am not talking about today's political, administrative frames. I am earlier 80s, 70s, 80s. It is very important. Ramakrishna Heggade ji gifted this decentralization, framework.
Okay.
So here we witness this kind of rural development, decentralization.
Yeah.
You need to energize rural people.
Yeah.
Grama Swarajya. Actually, Heggade termed that, we can witness the real evidence of Grama Swarajya in Dharmasthala, through Dharmasthala.
Yes.
It is very important interpretation.
Yeah.
We need to revisit. But the problem lies with our understanding of our past. Our understanding of past is very problematic. The someone is glorifies the history with his own whims and fancies. It is not acceptable. So Sri Kshetra, it is very important for me. The alignment between divine equality and social reformative footsteps and modernity. These three aspects are aligned with the perfection. So that's why Sri Kshetra got a larger priority across the nation.
Yeah.
Not only state, across the nation.
Yeah.
Why politicians of name fame are visiting here? Only because of this.
Yeah.
I would like to remember Karnataka Home Minister G. Parameshwar ji highlighted the significance of Sri Kshetra. Many years ago, before the implementation of constitutional values, Sri Kshetra established the philosophy of equality.
Yeah.
G. Parameshwar recently, by attending Lakshadweepotsava program, he wholeheartedly preferred to coin this thought that it is very important for us. We have to look at Sri Kshetra Dharmasthala with the broader mindset. We need not to listen to those who are appearing by saying that they are representatives of progressive
Ideology,
movements.
yeah.
It is not like that. There are many more progressive thinkers. They accorded greater priority to Sri Kshetra Dharmasthala, even though they attended the Lakshadweepotsava and they made valid versions. And Kuvempu and Bendre and other great scholars, accepted the significance of Sri Kshetra.
Of course.
As the modern justice system rejuvenated with the Sri Kshetra.
Yeah, true. Because Abhayadana happens very straightforward. Yeah. Okay, so what I'd like to ask is, when you mention things like people with whims and fancies and people who claim to represent an ideology, what comes to mind is the Heggade is actually free from all that. I mean, of course, currently he is a Rajya Sabha member, which is a recent addition to his portfolio actually. But except for that, he is a personality that is not associated with the political party, not associated with any commercial entity as such. So how important in the modern society is a role model like that, who is very fundamentally associated with only the idea of service and nothing else, doesn't come from an ideology, doesn't claim to represent any party or anything of that sort, but just purely, there's a word called Satvika. So a purely social or service-minded mentality. So how important is that kind of role model in the modern society?
Yes, it is the kind of extension, I think so. One individual is representing temple, one individual is representing religious segment. Actually, it is a diversified identity actually. If you go through the texts of history of Sri Kshetra, you will realize the diversity of religion identity of this nation. So Sri Kshetra is such kind of significant place, land of dharma, we say land of dharma. So by representing this particular land of dharma, Heggade ji entering into the legislature house with the universal acceptance.
Yeah.
So you are going to purify the process of democracy
Yeah.
It is rarest of the rare possibility across the world.
Yeah.
Those who are representing religious segment,
Yeah.
they go through their own activities of good Samaritan acts. But when you enter into the democratic arena, it is very precious for me. Political wing should look at this point of view with the broader mindset. You will create larger models for better future. Whatever we are speaking about welfare, societal welfare, the man with the greater success by applying his universal value centric mind and achieved success, and based on his contributory model, one political fraternity accorded greater priority
Yeah.
to enter into the legislature house. It is very important, when you are with the religious affiliation, you need to get one particular power system, and when you get that particular power system, you will intensify the process of change.
Yeah.
With the greater commitment.
Yes, true.
I consider.
Yes.
That's why I dedicated my book recently written,
Better the
titled Betta the Who, Adunika Ramayana. It is, um, it is very important for me. Betta the Who movie is coining innovative thought of development. Individualistic growth, it is very precious. It starts from educational qualification, educational samskara. I am not using the term qualification. Educational samskara. All institutions are run by our Sri Kshetra Dharmasthala. It is concentrating much more on educational samskara, shaikshanika samskara in Kannada. So that character, protagonist character in Betta the Who, acted by Punit Rajkumar, that character highlighted, through that character, director Lakshminarayan highlighted the importance of reading, importance of the knowledge, importance of the in-depth knowledge. We need to have that kind of eagerness to learn more.
Yes.
So it is closely connected with the rural development. When you are willing to get more knowledge, when you are energize yourself with the real knowledge, you will achieve success. Individualistic identity is like that only. You need to move on with the real knowledge. So Betta the Who movie, it is very important for me. So as the architect of modern development, rural development, Sri Virendra Heggade ji is very important for me. So that's why the book I have written dedicated to him.
Yeah.
Before that, I dedicated my translated version of Vaishnava
Vaishnava
Janato,
Janato.
Parahita Bayaso
Yes.
song. It is very popular.
Yes.
With his blessings, our journey started.
Yeah.
And I dedicated that particular song because many write-ups of Virendra Heggade ji highlighting the significance of Gandhian thought, humanity.
Yes.
Actually, Vaishnava Janata song is, it was the bhajan. Earlier it was the bhajan. Later on stages, Gandhi favored this
Popularized
song.
it further, yes.
Favorite song it is.
Yes.
So the very central theme of that bhajan was with the humanity.
Yeah.
So you are going to refine yourself with the understanding of humanity, and then only you will become the God and goddess. God, the great features of God and goddesses can be with human beings when they are with good Samaritan acts.
True.
So just I would like to say that for this kind of significance, as the personality, Heggade ji paved the way for rural development. Heggade ji paved the way for human behavioral refinement.
Yes.
Heggade ji provided the wider platforms to rejuvenate ourselves with the whatever in modern days there are many more platforms of personality development discourses and affirmation related discourses, but with the simplicity, Heggade um, you know maintained the value of universal sustainability with his concerted efforts.
Yeah.
That is the beauty of Heggade, I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah. So, having said all that, basically, he's a role model that substantiates the line "deep rivers flow with majestic silence." So he never really thumps his chest about what he stands for or anything of that sort. So why do you think? Let's come to the smear campaign now. Actually, that's been run against him and the temple in general. So why do you think it was important for the, let's call them anti-social forces or let's call them counter forces? Why was it important for them to dismantle a role model identity that was very strong? So you have built a discourse around how the role model identity is impactful, how Heggade as a role model identity is impactful. Why was it important for them to dismantle this identity? What was the agenda, do you think?
I think, all these forces are with the negativity, and anti-social elements are like that only. They never think positivity is very important for societal upliftment. They are concentrating only on their personal agenda. It is not ideological agenda.
Okay.
It is not ideological agenda. It is not.
But they claim it to be ideological.
It is ideology is nothing to do with their identity. Their identity, it is closely associated with the negativity. They want to make versions of defamation. They are very planned. It doesn't mean that PR strategies are meant for negativity. Public relations recognized as the separate academic discipline nowadays.
Yeah.
Public relations process starts with the positivity, ethical foundation.
Yes.
Ethical foundation should be there. Whatever strategy you are going to make out, that strategy should be based on ethical foundation. When you ethically enrich it, whatever strategies you are going to make out, all such strategies will make larger impact and it will be sustained in the long run. And it will get sustainable acceptance. But these individuals, I say, some individuals with the mean mentality, they emerge as bigwigs through the help of social media. It is not acceptable. In the long run, it will not be sustainable. You look at Raja Ram Mohan Rai and other social reformists, their footsteps were so strong. They were strong in terms of visionary approaches. These identities are with the negativity, mean mentality, I would like to term it as personal fundamentalism.
Okay.
Personal fundamentalism.
Okay.
Dharma and ideological aspects are irrelevant for them. It is versions of ideological notions irrelevant for them. I would like to in Better the Who book I depicted your creative submissions always aligned with the movable assets and based on factual assets, your imagination should be layered. Whatever stories they cooked, whatever stories they portrayed with the glorified mechanism, all such glorified mechanism centric interpretations are irrelevant because when you are having greater base with the factual foundation, you will achieve success. If you take up literary contributions, all literary contributions are very important because of their factual interpretation. They depend on imaginary world. They construct characters. They construct some fictional interpretations based on imagination, the power of imagination. At the moment of coining creativity, It is very important, but it is not a kind of creativity. You are glorify irrelevant things
Yeah.
based on speculations,
Yeah.
and you will get a larger, fan base. It is not a real fan base. Those who are observing, those who are weaving, and those who are, speaking about you. It doesn't mean that you are accepted.
Yeah.
Actually, later on days, they will realize that you are fake. Definitely, they will realize, because literature, it is very important at this juncture, because our mythical interpretations also very important. All mythical, texts are so energetic in terms of, coining universal values. By the end of mythical story, we will realize that we should energize ethically.
Yeah.
And these kinds of cooked stories, these kinds of falsified strategies will not remain in the long run. So, their personal agenda, they are not having firm ideology. I have already clarified that all ideologies are so broader. All ideologies are universally enriched.
Yeah. So these people are basically trying to leverage those ideologies, but actually while practicing what you called as a personal fundamentalism.
They are not aware of it.
Yeah. Okay.
They are not having historical,
Yeah.
significance of
The actual
ideologies.
ideology. Yeah. Okay.
You can make loose comments on anyone.
Yeah.
In this world. Comments are very free in our journalistic academic world.
Yeah, true.
We repeatedly revisit this particular statement that comments are free in this world.
Yeah.
But such comments, from which source such comments are coming, it is very important.
Yeah.
You are making allegation, you are making loose comment. What kind of identity you are with, it is very precious.
Yeah.
What kind, most of the times we listen to the personalities, they make irrelevant interpretations. Only because they are very popular, we accept their versions. It is not like that. There are other segment of people, they will categorically deny your version. They will go through the factual details.
True.
That's why Sri Kshetra, it is very popular. Whatever, deformation activities, from last 13 years,
Yeah.
visiting phenomenon, it is continued.
Yeah.
Because I have already clarified that, devotees are very precious.
Yeah.
As Virendra Heggade ji repeatedly saying, bhaktas are very important for me. Whenever he speaks, he starts with the, blessings.
Yeah.
His speech concludes with the blessings. It is a kind of great healing process.
Yeah. So, for a moment, I just want to play the devil's advocate and ask you, Heggade is one man, end of the day. Every socialist theory of today, let's say liberalism or even communalism or even socialism in general, is very much in conflict with the idea of hero worship. Because individualism on every level is what every theory advocates for. Do you think that the position of Heggade, the way he is revered, the way he is perceived in and around Dharmasthala by the people who are very closely associated with him, is hero worship? A. And do you think that that concept or that perception has caused the kind of stir today? Because he, even though the allegations are not in his name, he is on the receiving end of it till date. So, do you think that it is perceived as hero worship and thus in conflict with all the socialist theories, and that's why all these problems have come to the picture?
No. Good Samaritan activism is always getting larger acceptance in the long run. It is just, these are the, short-lived happenings. I consider all whatever, crisis nowadays we are witnessing. This is the, short-lived phenomenon.
Okay.
But Heggade ji attire is totally different from others because he is connected with the moral justice system. within the traditional system, uh, moral framework is there. It is closely connected with the divinic centers,
Yes.
temples.
Yes.
When we go to the temple, when we are in front of the idol, we pray for something.
Yes.
Whether it is circumstantial, whether it is forever purpose, whatever it may be, when we enter into the temple, with the greater optimism we enter into the temple and we pray for the betterment. And Shri Kshetra is very important for me to re-establishing ethical justice value centric system. It is very important for me. Actually, Kadala Tirada Bhargava, one of Jnanapita awardees of our Karnataka state, Shivaram Karanta conveyed that Shri Kshetra has folklore significance. All divinic centers are closely connected with the folklore world.
That's interesting.
And fear of getting punished, it is pertinent feature of humanity. And when someone is pray for the betterment against the manipulation, and God is there to punish them, Annappa Swami is there. This is the modern layered traditional value system. I would like to term it like that only. It is the representative of traditional justice system in the modern era. And there are many people visiting Shri Kshetra with the expectation of larger justice. Someone is manipulating, someone is there to wage war against someone, and they appear here with the greater optimism. When they appeal with the greater affirmation, Shri Kshetra is there to pave the way for their rejuvenation. There are many more court cases. They are going through court cases and they are struggling hard. When they appear with their own affirmation, aligned with the Sri Manjunatheshwara identity,
they've gotten justice.
They will get confidence. And when they listen to words of Sri Virendra Heggade ji, they energize themselves. This is the matter of fact we need to understand. Why people are frequently visiting. The contradiction you should observe. One family is there, one is very rational, other family members are so kind, and they are with the religious practices, and this diversity is there.
Yes.
They come, even though they will not enter into the temple, other members will enter into the temple and they will get something special from the divinic identity. This is the preciousness of Sri Virendra Heggade ji. Virendra Heggade ji re-established the justice system with the modern touch. Goodness, whenever you listen to his words, you will find only goodness word.
True.
So that is the specificness of Virendra Heggade ji.
Yeah. So I think to conclude, I'd like to ask the question. The attempt was to dismantle this identity of the Heggade, basically. There are layers to his position, there are layers to his personality, there is a lot of depth to his position, basically. So I'd like to ask, theoretically, let's say, what would be the result if they had succeeded in doing that?
They will not achieve success.
That's true, I agree. But if at all, let's say theoretically or hypothetically, if they had, what is the end result? Because he is holding the society together in his own way. So how do you think the society would be impacted if the dismantling was successful? And why is there a reason for all of us to actually understand the discourse surrounding the Heggade and probably do our bit to protect it also?
No, we need not to lose optimism at this juncture.
Okay.
All visionaries they start their journey of Good Samaritan Acts with the greater optimism. Society is like this only. They think in that only.
Okay.
Society, thankless jobs. Some, if you are representing education field, if you are with the real journalistic commitment, if you are with the goodness activities, if you are with the temple activities, you are doing very much for the betterment of society, but you will get criticism.
Yeah.
Criticism, critics are there always. That's why I'm saying that who are they? Those who are making allegations, those who are making comments, are they very important personalities? Are they resourceful personalities? Any contributions they have made? If you go through the versions of such fellows, sorry to say this, it is too difficult to accept their versions, because when Kshetra is very strong in terms of its good Samaritan acts, moral justice system, it is attached with the moral justice system. When you are so energetic in terms of vision, rural development process, it is very important. Gandhian model of development concept is established here through the Kshetra. We need to consider this. When Gandhian model is being criticized with the harsh words, it is not practical. Small help groups related initiatives are very important.
Yeah, yeah.
Gandhian model is, even though politicians categorically deny, it is too difficult to accept the Gandhian model. But if you look at the process of rural development concept here, it is materialized.
True.
So strong believer of Gandhian thought. Heggade always referring Gandhian thoughts repeatedly.
True.
So it is very important for me. It is short-lived, whatever strategies they are framing, it is glorified in nature, and people will accept your glorified versions immediately, because emotional quotient is there.
Yeah.
They will accept, but later on they will realize these fellows are making only allegations. And visionary people always having this kind of optimism. From the beginning, all bigwigs, santas, saints and philosophers, and whenever they coin never thought, society will make loose comment on it.
True, true.
I think, by close, with the close observation of Sri Virendra Heggade activities and thought, process, I realized this positivity.
So I think I fully agree with what you said about how he perceives the society. He knows that, he wouldn't ever say this, but I think there is a level of awareness that he's doing a thankless job, and he completely forgives the society for countering him or criticizing him baselessly. We can observe it in his current speeches also. He only approaches everyone with a blessing kind of an aura and a loving kind of an aura. So yeah, so I'd like to thank you.
He never supported extremism, any kind of extremism. Extremism is very problematic for this society. Whether it is ideological rigidity, whether it is ideological extremism, conflicts between ideological extremism are making a lot of problems this society. Political system, power system should understand this very factual version. So when we are with the extremism, we will not achieve success.
True.
So softness, and with the softness, Virendra Heggade emerged. Whatever idea willing to convey, all such moments with the soft tone Heggade conveys.
Yes.
It is very important. If I am very aggressive, I have to make this change, I have to raise war against one particular religious center, what is going on. If I am with the extremism, if I am with the extreme stance, no use, I will not get. All changes will not be, it is not possible overnight. It is very gradual. Any kind of changes, any kind of revolutionary process closely associated with the gradual growth, not rapid growth.
True. True.
Those changes which are associated with the gradual growth, such
are permanent.
changes will be sustained in the long run.
True.
Heggade is believing this, Heggade is believing that particular fact.
True.
That is the success, that is the powerful source of Heggade's successful journey.
So, as a testament to the saying, deep rivers flow with majestic silence, he has actually gradually built a model democracy through a religious institution, which is a phenomenal thing in a country like India, where all religions do their best at least to coexist and be in harmony, basically. So, I thank you for this wonderful discourse that you have established around Dr. Heggade, because it's very important for the younger generation to understand the importance of a role model figure like Dr. D. Virendra Heggade in the modern society. So, thank you so much for joining us here at Bigger Picture.
I am also thankful to you for giving this opportunity to present my views.
Thank you. Thank you, and see you in the next episode.